Hello guys, Colin here. If you've been playing guitar for a while and have a few pedals, you'll probably have come across these. These are solid couplers for connecting your pedals together. Now your first thought when seeing these may well have been, wow, what a great idea! I can connect all my pedals really close together. These are the perfect solution. But then somewhere over your shoulder, a shadowy figure rubs his hands and lets out a demonic cackling laugh. For these are the work of the devil, created with the sole purpose of destroying your pedals. No, this isn't just an old wives' tale. There's some real science here. So let's take a look at why you should banish these back to hell, where they belong. First and foremost, these things only function at all if all your pedals are the same brand. As you can see, Boss, MXR, TC Electronic and other brand pedals have their input and output jacks at different positions and heights. And while these abominations do come in this offset form to try and counteract this, and these are even more evil and we'll cover why soon, it does nothing to help with pedals that have top-mounted jack sockets. But even if you're only using the one brand of pedal, and even if all their sockets are in the same place, which they often aren't, that doesn't mean that the walls of the pedals are going to be parallel to each other. Most pedals are actually narrower on the top surface than they are on their bottom, meaning the walls of the pedals slope. Trying to connect two pedals together using these solid couplers results in pedals whose feet don't share the same plane, and by connecting several pedals like this, we clearly see the curvature forming. Theoretically, if we kept going, would form a large circle of pedals. Now imagine these are secured to a flat surface like a pedal board. There is permanent force being applied to the jack sockets by the solid coupler, which is only increased when the pedal is stepped on. This sort of constant and repeated stress will eventually cause fatal damage to the jack sockets of your pedals. Add to this that many pedals have their jack sockets mounted directly to the circuit board, and you can add broken and damaged circuit boards into the mix. Even if the walls of the pedal were totally vertical and parallel to each other, the act of stomping on one to activate it causes, say, the rubber feet to compress or the pedal to shift in its position in any axis. Yes, even if you bolted it down with bicycle chain, there's still displacement under stress, and that displacement translates into strain on the sockets via the solid coupler. The offset couplers are worse because they add a rotational element into the equation. These try to pivot around the socket under load, causing a twisting leverage action to be applied to the adjoining pedal. Rotation inside a connection that works by friction is not going to end well for your pedal. So if these damage pedals under every circumstance, what's the alternative? The rest of the guitar community uses patch cables for a reason. By having a flexible area between each pedal, we isolate any movement in operation to a single pedal. The jacks in the sockets move along with it, and the rest of the pedals are immune to the forces being applied elsewhere. By having something flexible connecting each element, we remove the risk of damage in operation. This is the engineering solution to many problems, not just pedal boards. If you look at large bridges, you'll find deliberately placed points of flexibility. These expansion points allow sections of the bridge to move and flex with the stress being applied to it, both in terms of temperature changes and physical loading. We see similar in railway tracks, and tall buildings are designed to flex and move in sections to prevent them being shaken to pieces by earthquakes and other forms of stress to the structure. Hell, even the human spine is a lot of rigid elements joined together by flexible connections, and I think we all know the damage that can be caused if any of that flexibility becomes inflexible. It's well known to engineers that if you don't design points of flexibility into rigid systems, then they will design themselves, usually in a very destructive manner. And that's why these solid connectors are satanic hellspawn. They throw away the flexible buffer room that protects our pedals, replacing it with an unyielding connection that will tear the pedals apart as they seek sanctuary from the outside forces being applied. Do not buy these things. Tell your friends to stay away from them. Be the light that leads others away from sin. So go forth and evangelize, my children. Spread the gospel to the masses and non-believers. Let no man remain ignorant, nor leave any ear unbent to the truth of the word. Let us renounce the solid coupler and follow the path of righteousness, for only through the patch cable may our pedals receive eternal life. And if you've liked this video and you want to see more content from me, then you can hit the subscribe button and that will notify you of all new content as it comes out. My Patreon's also there for exclusive secret stuff if you wish to support me further, and there's other videos you might not have seen. But that's all for now, guys. Keep it loud, and I'll see you later.